Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them, because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying, those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because if their vote our leaders be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est au titre encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé nous. Quand il va Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai loupé presse. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as bien de moi avec nous en ce moment. On va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à mon mouillé. On s'est battu pour moi il pleure. Toi, là loupé yo.
Doing anything that people get to amend it. And with me from 2005 to date, we're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You know what I'm saying? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say. I'm on record.
Ìyàwó abẹ́lá lókè yóò níbi tó jọba ẹ̀ níbi tó yọba máa ti sùnmọ̀ pé yóò mọ́nàjà jíjì wọ́n pè sàmẹ́ fọ́sí o sí ti kọ́nẹ́. L'animateur Choco Noska Yasin de Toyebi l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito Aniche les vieux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about 14 road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talked nice about you on the radio station. Now he's stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children tuition, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Liberian Public Radio. Again, I want to say good evening to all of you. Mikey, good evening. Bajer, good evening. Mr. Ward, good evening. Taliesin, good evening to all of you. Many of you that are tuning in. We say thank you for your continued support of Liberian Public Radio. Folks, just bear with me. Very shortly here, come next week, my Tabata time will be over. The conservative that you like, it will come on. But in the meantime, you let me enjoy myself, man. Thank you, folks. We have fun from time to time. I want to thank all of you again tonight for tuning into Liberian Public Radio. We appreciate your support and we appreciate you following on. Whenever we open the mic, many of you come on and listen to us. We appreciate it. Thank you. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. We offer a special prayer to our father, our uncle, Ambassador Bakai. Now, the rumors is all over the place, but whatever it is, whatever reason he went to Ghana for, we offer a prayer. If he's there to seek the interest of Liberia, we offer our prayer. If he's there for health issue, we offer our prayer. My Lord, please help us. Guide him. Bless him. Whatever it is, guide him through. We know you're capable of doing it, and so we put Ambassador Baka in your hand this evening as we sit here to ask and pray to you for Liberia to be blessed. We ask you to guide Ambassador Baka. Whatever trip he went on in Ghana is in your hands. My Lord Jesus, you know election is there in Liberia, so folks are going up and down. It's rainy, yet still they're driving. We put those people in your hand as well. We put the leadership of Liberia in your hand. We put the leadership of President Weah, Dr. Weah, in your hands. We put the opposition leadership in your hand. They're going to be driving all over. It's raining. We put them in your hand. My Lord, bless us all. Guide us. This process is very important to our future, you know. And we put our future, in fact, the entire country future in your hand. We ask you again tonight to do the wonders that you continue to, that you have done in the past. We ask you to provide the wonders. Oh, yeah, your wonder can never end. Any one of us, if you give anybody the mic today to testify things that you have done, we're not going to get out of here tonight. And so we'll just conclude and say thank you. Many Liberians and all the people that are listening to me tonight, they say thank you for your blessing. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your protection. Everything you do is for the good of all. Thank you. My Lord, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I'm not going to fool around with this one here tonight. Let me bring it. Okay, I don't see Mr. George. If you're there, just throw your hands up and fingers up, and then we'll bring you in. Folks, strictly. You know me. I was here last night
singing the praises of Ambassador Bakai because I thought he was doing some wonderful things. Now, this is what I'm saying. If you go on Front Page Africa, if you go on Daily Observer, the newspaper from back home, they're saying that Ambassador Bakai was taken to Ghana because of health issue and things like that. And if these people that have Ambassador Bakai in a bubble, if they are not being truthful to tell the Liberian people exactly what is happening, and they try to hide, I'm just saying hide because I don't know. I don't know. I hope what they're saying is true. But if they are hiding anything, then what's the difference between them and President Weah and the CDC? Because he's supposed to be transparent at this time. If Ambassador Bakai fingernail cut, you tell people because he wants to be our president. If anything happened to you in terms of health, you don't have to go into details. We're not interested in his medical health history. But if he's taking treatment, if he's going for health issue, talk to us. Liberians are grown enough to know the tapata, to separate the tapata from the truth. So if you say Ambassador Bakai had gone to seek medical attention in Ghana, tell the Liberian people. And let the Liberian people decide whether CDC will come out here and make tabata on other Ambassador Bakai health issue, which is unacceptable. Liberian will back you. But if you hide it, yeah. Anything you throw in the water, that budu will come up. I hope that you guys have been very truthful with us. And I'll leave it as that. Mr. George, I don't see you again. You can't, you go, okay. I know your buddy coming next week. I tell you, you soak me. You can't soak the liberal. The liberal is here. You can't make it with him. The man can go to Liberia. You can go all the way to Toton and regenerate himself. He come back here. You can make it with the liberal. All of you combined. Mr. George, you can even go to Bon County and come back. You can make it with the liberal. The liberal is here as a counterweight to both of you. So don't be coming in and out. Come on. Let's go ahead. But anyway, let's go. Let's go, folks. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. So tonight program, we're gonna, and I'm just waiting for Mr. George. As soon as Mr. George comes in here, we talk for a little bit, introduce the program, and I'll try to open the line here tonight to give you, those of you that want to call in, will call. There's a video that's going around, and I need to talk about it because I will talk about it Thursday. There's a video that's going around. Man, your team Manaseli in wheelchair, please. If it was not the Constitution, that woman gonna run again. Jesus, Bati. Yo. The one woman here inside more than me. My goodness. President said you're not easy, Omar. You're not easy. I pray for you to stay alive for a long time. What? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I've been saying. Okay. President said you're not easy. I will play that video. Let me bring in. Mr. George. I don't see Mr. George. Okay, Terry just joined me. This is the young man in whom I'm very, very pleased, of course. But he's been backing me from time to time when every one of the old conservative, and I'm not talking about the director up north. The conservative, we got a PhD here who don't want to. Y'all watch. As soon as Mr. Soul show up, Will Carter gonna show up? Number 9, who is Aaron Butler will show up, and all the conservative, all the Liberian conservative will be calling. Oh, when you were not here, Mr. Toe took the whole LPR program, turned it into just a mouthpiece. Far from it. But let me tell you. Let me ask you, when you report me, say, what will happen to me? When you report me, that will take total from me. I beg you, man, if I'm trying to say that. Let me bring in the young man who will help me again tonight, Mr. George. Please join us. Let me bring in Terry. Terry, good evening to you, and thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Toe. How are you today?
I'm fine. Just right out of the back. What's going on with Ambassador Bakai that you know of?
Straight
Yeah.
question, right?
Yeah. If you don't know, then I can speculate. But what's going on with Ambassador Wakai?
Well, last time I checked, Ambassador Boyka is okay.
Okay.
You know, there are rumors that he's sick and all of that. And you and I know already that those are gossip.
Yeah.
And we cannot thrive on gossip. You see,
Everybody,
everybody.
I survive and live on gossip. But quiet.
Everybody travel. The other day, the vice standard bearer of Taiwan Gonglo was in America. He was on Spoon Talk. Taiwan Gonglo, he said travel while his campaign is going on. Nobody talking about that. But people are talking about Ambassador Boyka.
But why are you focusing on Tyrone Goglo? They don't want Ben saying something?
No, what I mean, people are not focusing on them. They're traveling. People don't have problem with them. But when Ambassador Boyka travel, then people say he's sick because there's a gossip. But my question to them.
But will you sympathize for those people who has that? I know their view is unacceptable. But will you sympathize with their view, though?
I will not sympathize with their view. Why is because
I try, y'all say I try. You say not sympathizing with y'all.
The reason is simple, Mr. Toe.
Yeah,
let them provide evidence. You say the man's sick. We agree. Show up paper. That's all we want. Show up paper because the last time I checked, you pull all the CCTV. And the man was walking. The man was not in a wheelchair. He was walking, going to the plane, like an ordinary person. When
you were going to Ghana, they had a video.
Yeah, the government pulled out the CCTV and highlighted the man and said it to a Gosling William.
Oh, the CCTV at the airport. That's the one the government mouthpiece were using.
Right. So,
but you are not in stretcher. You are not in stretcher. You are not on stretcher. I mean,
no, he was not on stretcher. I can even send the video to you. He was not on stretcher. He was walking, going to the plane. Yeah. You know, into the terminal.
Then let me can't deal with the sedition again tonight.
You understand? He was walking.
Deal with that again tonight.
Like every ordinary person, and that is why I keep saying.
Let me ask you one serious question. CDC, we talk about them, but they are all brothers and sisters. Have Ambassador Bakai made any comment sympathizing with CDC for the fact that their people, supporters died during the accident? Because I watched another sister. Let me bring in Mr. George. Mr. George, when you're ready, please throw me a thumb. Let me bring you in, Reda. Okay. Let me bring in Mr. George. So, as Mr. Bakai, the soon to be the father, the real father of the nation, has he expressed sympathy to CDC and the fact that their members died during the campaign, and these members are Liberians as well? Has he expressed sympathy? I've not seen it. If it is, please let me know.
Yes, I could even send the video to the. Okay. I could put it in the group.
Okay.
He did. Right. In fact, that very day or the next, he openly came on Facebook and extended his sympathy to the three girls. Yeah, he did that.
Okay, then he's truly the father. Okay, all right.
But my thing to them is this, because
to who them?
To those who are accusing Ambassador Boyka of being sick.
CDC. I to come play with them. That CDC. Anything bad, that CDC. If it's good at that. No, I'm just kidding, folks. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Terry. Make a point.
Yeah, but my question to them is this: if you want to use that as a propaganda, make sure you have the facts. Tell us, show on paper that highlighting the man's illness, or give us the.
But Terry, let me push back on. This is political season. These people that are going to be making these statements, they are not medical doctors. So do you want them to come and give you something on paper? This is political season.
But that is what it is. You say the man's sick. You're not a doctor. And you say that the person is sick. So what you're supposed to do to convince the people that you're trying to convince to not vote for the man is to produce evidence to show that the man is sick by saying, okay, let the man or let his medical records here. These are papers showing that the man is supposed to go to the hospital, or the man is sick, or the man is going to be admitted. You're not showing none of the above. The only thing you're running with is gossip. That
Okay.
claim that the man is sick every time maybe he tried to suspend his campaign to travel out of the country or travel somewhere, you claim that he's sick.
Okay.
So if you're surviving on that, then I think it will not be healthy for your propaganda or machinery.
Thank you. Let me bring you Mr. George. Good evening.
Good
First
evening,
question
Mr.
first.
Mr.
You're
Joe.
scared of the liberal? You're conservative? You're scared of the liberal?
Oh,
Okay.
Mr. Terry,
I've not seen you around for quite a while now, and the liberal been taking both you and the far right to the clinic. You the center right and the far right, and Dr. Sawyer, Dr. Tipote, and Dr. Famula, soon to be PhD. No, you don't want to come on the show, and Mr. So come on next week. Then every one of you want to show up. So I'm just saying I feel bad for you because the liberals, Mr. So over there wishing that I can retire. Because we said when he come back, I wanted to think you will push on LPR for me to retire, which I'm not going to be. So I just telling you, good evening and thank you for joining us. But the liberal is not going anywhere, and I think I'm here as a counterweight. But anyway, what's on your plate tonight? Now that you are with us,
I got a whole lot.
you're looking fresh tonight again. Oh my goodness, I feel bad for anybody that will come.
Yeah. He look ready.
Yeah, I'm
Look,
telling you, you're looking fresh. Go ahead, Chief. Go ahead.
I got a whole lot. The ambassador Boga Tapatala going on. Nathaniel Mange issues. And Ambassador Boga made a statement on the campaign trail the other day too. I want to comment on that. But let me say this. Terry, you can't have your cake and eat it.
Oh.
The other day you said that Ambassador Boga was well. And I call you doctor. You didn't show nobody asked you to show any people.
Carry on. Let me I'll be right back. But carry on, they can hear you.
But Terry, the other day you said that Ambassador Boga was well, and nobody asked you to show people. But just my point here. You know, your United Party people, you're the one bringing all these things on yourself. You people are responsible. In Liberia or most around the world, people don't have many times people not show proof. They will say things about people, especially political season. Take for example, Obe. I don't know if you know Obe, but I know Obe. He didn't walk in with that thing on Mr. Kome, that Mr. Kome was a gay. Obe. He said because they didn't have anything, so some Liberian people hate gay. He developed that issue and said Mr. Kome was a gay, and he stuck with Mr. Kome today. All the answers that he had gave, some people still believe, yes, it's true. The man who invented it, Obe had come on TV, say, I'm sorry, he did it, but still, people don't want to believe it. Now, the question I'm asking is that Ambassador Boakai is a human being. Nobody go to ask for sickness. No. Old age is something, if God give you long life, we all will go through. That's a running for those who have longevity will go through it. And so there's nothing wrong with being old. It's not a crime. There's if you get sick, it's not a crime. But yes, my problem with you Unity Party people. We query President John we are for not speaking to the Liberian people. We say they do everything in the cover of darkness. If Ambassador Boga is traveling to Ghana for whatever reason, he is not. I always say this: when you're running for a president, you are not an ordinary man. When you're a minister, you are not an ordinary person. You become a public figure. Your life is an open book. It has no secret again. If Ambassador Boga is going to Ghana for whatever reason, he doesn't have to stick the reason to me or to the Liberian people. All they need to do is, before he leave the day before, maybe 7 o'clock, he leaving tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock, issue a press statement that the former vice president and standing bearer of the Unity Party will be traveling to Ghana tomorrow morning to meet with some official business. That's finished. But you didn't do it. The man left radio station or other public institutions start announcing it. Then you're coming back on the issue press release. You're playing catch up. You should be proactive
Okay.
because they have always been on rumor around Honorable Parker head that he's not well. So if you're going somewhere to dispel that rumor, be proactive. First thing, issue a press release that if he
Well,
could be
let me ask you, Mr. Josh.
uh-huh.
That you the one now come to be an advisor to Unity Party now?
No, Mr. So
But what's your point? What's your point? They
My
said
point
this
here is
this is where I come in with me. You and Mr.
yes,
and tell us that I don't your business.
No, yeah, the point I'm making.
Okay,
I'm
what's
seeing-
the larger point
I'm
you
seeing
make?
the United Party brought this Hulu Bible on themselves. If I were Ambassador Boaga, I would have fired that whole secretariat because this is what they should have been doing. The man is leaving for to go to Ghana.
Okay, let's get
Okay, what I'm seeing is that they were the one who brought this whole.
Okay, I hear you. Let's give Terry the opportunity to see. Terry, you're not speaking for Unity Party. You're not speaking for Ambassador Barker. We're just having a pure discussion here. What will be your take on this, Mr. Josh? And this is a very serious business. That perhaps Unity Party, if whatever reason he's going for to Ghana, they should have been proactive by saying Ambassador Barker is going to be going to Ghana X, Y, and Z. If it is emergency that caught them off guard, they should have immediately let people do whatever they have to do. But Mo Ali did, except it was a little bit late. My own sister, Senator Lawrence, did, but it was a little bit condescending as far as I'm concerned. And so, Terry, what they should have done differently than what they did, the one Mr. Josh is talking about? What would be your 2 cents on that?
Well, from my understanding is that, from my observation, Mr. Cummings do not tell anybody when he leaving the country what he's going to do.
Well, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, I come in now.
Collins. Yeah, but don't answer question with accusation. I mean, you just tell me what did you know.
They didn't do.
This is what you need to do.
Listen,
this is what I would suggest. If they're not their business, the way I tell here, Mr. George and Mr. So, I tell them, say, they're not your business. Let's move on. If that's what you want to say so. But you can't say because somebody you sound like you sure you're not a sedition, undercover sedition? Because you sound like CDC to me. Oh.
Maybe I see undercover sedition. Mr. To, the thing is very simple, right? Whatsoever Ambassador Boaga does, it will be used as a propaganda. This is political season. The man is tapping the pools. Anything whatsoever he does, it will be used as a political shenanigan against him. Whether if he travels, he suspends his program, he don't do it. Every day when the people, the ANC camp and the CDC camp wakes up in the morning, they have some kind of propaganda that they have already packaged to put off of Ambassador Boaga. It is a natural thing. If the man decided to travel, this is the electoral season. The campaign have already planned the strategies of how to engage. If the man had an impromptu or a travel to do, and he decided to go out of the country quickly and come right back to go, this is campaign season. Everybody lobbying, looking for money and opportunity. If the man decided to travel and go, and the opposition bloc decide to use that as a means to say the man's sick, he's going for all the kind of thing. We are not moved by those kind of shenanigans because we know that whatsoever Ambassador Boaga does, the opposition will use it as a propaganda machinery. The same way we are using propaganda machinery against President Weah when he went to bombing County. That's the same way the opposition is going to take advantage of every single opportunity to highlight it.
Okay.
So I don't blame or Mo Ali for coming on later on. The only reason why Mo Ali and Senator Kanga Lauren responded was because of the propaganda that they carry on, that the opposition were carrying on, that the man is sick. So as a result, he suspended his activities. So that is why they came up with a response. But if they decided that the Papa should travel, that is the United Party responsibility. It has nothing to do with you. It left with you to narrate the story the way you feel, because there is nothing we do that will satisfy you.
Okay.
Every little thing we do, you will use it as a propaganda.
But hold on, Mr. George. Let's move on to something else here very quickly. None of us here have. Of course, I'm an engineer. I'm a medical doctor. I'm a lawyer. I hold all the big positions that who I am. But that's not the point here tonight. Let us not try to dissect Ambassador Bakai health issue when we are not a medical expert or medical practitioner. Let me put it that way. So hold on, Mr. George. Huh?
Let me say something to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The same stand up, and this is the double standard that we are many Liberians suffering from. The same standard that we want to hold George, we are up to. Why is it if one of our own do, we don't want to hold them to that?
But what is it that will not hold you been
Yeah,
having
Mr. Terry, they're saying that.
But he has a right to hold on now, Mr. George.
You the money, you're supposed to push back. Yeah, Mr. Terry.
But you cannot. You're warming yourself to Mr. Soul return, and you think you're gonna bamboozle me to accept your conservative. Why do I have to monitor? Well, Terry has the right to express himself.
He has the right, but you have the right to set the record straight. I'm saying, Terry said that if Ambassador Boakai travel, that's his business. And I'm saying, no. Ambassador Boakai is not an ordinary figure. This man wants to be president. He had to be away from the president.
Well, Mr. Judge, have I not told you and Mr. Soul here before that is none of your business?
But that one would continue to take that labor out there. You don't bring it because that's the same thing. That George we have. He leave the country, don't tell the Liberian people where he going. He come back, he don't tell the Liberian people where he going. Okay. And this is the same thing we're fighting against. Okay. If Ambassador Boakai is traveling, as long as he's occupying that position as a standard bearer, we owe the Liberian people an explanation. To say, hey, he don't have to tell us whether he's going to see medical care, where he going. But the protocol is he going to attend business.
Well, you know that he's out of the country. Anything secret still?
It's that secret, but we don't know what he went for.
Must you know where he's going for and who he's going to see?
Tell us.
But you know now. Even
I know, but the procedure is wrong. The object is wrong.
All right. Okay. And that hopefully will make you a police director in Liberia.
I don't have to be.
I'm not coming there.
Judge, we are up to.
Okay. All right. Let's take it serious a little bit. But anyhow, thank you. I mean, your point. Oh, yeah. You see that now? The man calling you. The man scared of me. He calling her. Yeah. CDC, how you doing? I can't hear you. CDC, I can't hear you. Hold on. Can you hear me, CDC?
You mute me. I'm hearing you, but you can't hear me.
CDC, we can hear you now. What's on your mind?
Mr. Tor, this few times for the past 2 weeks, you've been having a field trip with the surrogate of Unity Party, and you guys think that it's jolly time for you, but we coming back.
You're with it,
but I just like to contribute here a little bit and give my brother a little education, and even inform my own woman that I dearly respect and love, Mr. Tor. Once Joseph Boakai announced, in fact, he was former vice president. Once he announced that he's running to become president, his life become an open book.
Look at who talking. Look at who talking. Judge, we have left the country for almost 5 months. And y'all say one question. But when we talk about it, y'all say we ain't got the right to talk about it. Now, look at it.
You don't have the right. Nobody say you don't have the right. You talk anything you want to say, and this is the most down to earth president like you have ever seen.
There we go.
That anybody, are you listening to me?
I'm listening.
Anybody can just sit down anywhere, whether in the executive mansion, whether at this, wherever, and just say anything, and it was scotch-free. Nobody bothered them. And so, Joseph Boakai's life is an open book. When I heard Mo Ali, this is the stupidest press conference ever for a political, whoever he is.
Walter Carter, do you not have the ability to use a different word when you describe your own brothers and sisters? No,
Stupid,
I know
no,
that, but
stupid is not an insult.
it is very
It's not. You
uncomfortable.
see,
It
you
is very.
you people try to sanction people.
No, I'm not
voices,
trying to
and that's not
sanction
a
you.
good thing.
I'm just saying, can you
You
not use
are
the word
an
dance
educated person. If I say that thing is not sounding, is
or on
nonsensical to me.
sound,
Okay, yes, it's nonsensical. This is the most nonsensical thing I ever heard from a political, whoever he is.
Okay.
To come and accuse somebody of taking picture or even video of a stand-up bearer of a political party.
Why would the government release a camera at the airport? Use the camera that is.
Don't forget, the government does not even have to release camera or dinner. You know that people work over there. You know that other surveillance
the
there.
government. You think somebody will release a video from the airport without being sanctioned by the government entity? Is that what you're going to tell me?
Nobody got to tell me to videotape somebody. I can still right to the airport.
No. They said that CT. I don't know what they call it, but those
Who they say?
Hold on now.
Mo Ali said the security chief NSA boss did that. Did he get information that NSA boss do and did it? And you're running with that too? You're a sound old man. We respect you. You don't go by bottle kind of craziness that man put on that.
But we're talking about Liberia. Do you believe somebody will release a picture that is of government sanctioned picture without the government being involved? Is that what you want to tell us here in Liberia?
What made a government picture? What made Joseph Parker try a government picture? Anybody can take video of Joseph Parker. Did he hide? Did wrapping in box to carry him?
But before you shoot a picture of somebody walking, before the picture of somebody walking the tarmac to be shown, those pictures have to be
anybody can take picture. It could be people that work at the airport. It could be citizens who work there. It could be Unity Park. Anybody can take pictures.
Okay, what's your point?
My thing is, let me just learn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me learn. My thing is for Mo Ali to come and accuse journalists and start to blame people for talking about Joseph Walker health, when Joseph Walker himself, nobody forced it all of him up. Openly stated on 50-50. See? Fraud.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on 1 minute. No, hold on 1 minute. Let me warn the audience very quickly. If my guest, whoever it is on the phone with me, and if you don't want to listen to them, you get off the show. We're not begging. But if you're going to come here, you watch your words, you use your words respectfully. We try to stay away from all kinds of language. So let the man express himself. I'm not asking you to accept his explanation, but there's anyone else that will come out and use language, colorful language. I think then you will want to excuse yourself from this show tonight. Go ahead, Carter, finish your program. Finish your turn.
Yeah, so this the thing, right? This man was on 50-50. T-Max asking specific questions. He said that the 2017 election was so tough. On that,
what man now? Too many men, like bro. What one?
Mr. Bwaka.
Mr. Bwaka. But what can you that honorable Bwaka, Ambassador Bwaka? You calling them man? That the man that hold on, Kata, hold on. Let me take because that's not who you are. You calling Ambassador Bwaka, Honorable Bwaka, you calling Joseph Bwaka, that's not who you are. So let me take you out of that CDC shell right now and give you back your old shell. Can you call him Honorable? Can you call him Ambassador Bwaka, please? And don't call him Joseph Bwaka.
Let me have the liberty to speak, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or are you forcing words in my mouth? Can we have the liberty to speak, or are you forcing words in my mouth? I said Mr. Joseph Newman Bwaka said on 50-50 show that he went to get pacemaker because of he had some complication with his heart.
Okay.
When people get pacemaker, it means that they are now well.
Okay.
You open conversation for the community or the people of the nation to talk about.
For
a secretary or a spokesman for your party to come up and start talking about there will be lawsuit, they're looking at legal team accusing people in government for
what that got to do with the lawsuit, whoever they're going to sue, it has nothing to do with us. Why you want to make it into a conversation now? Are you going to be part?
Are we not discussing? Are we not discussing?
Yeah, what litigation have to do with us here tonight? Nothing.
Are we not discussing Joseph Boakai yet tonight?
We're discussing honorable Ambassador Boakai. That's who we're discussing here tonight. The man who will soon be your president of the Republic of Nigeria. The soon to be the father of the nation.
He will be president in Tostan, not in Liberia. It will be in Tostan. He will be president in Tostan. Mr. Boakai will not even come close to the presidency.
Get it. You know, looking at
Mr. Cummings and President, we are going to the second round. If there will be a second round.
Okay, thank you. That was my lead here. Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you. But please come back so you can make your closing.
Yeah, coming back.
All right. Mr. George, he just gave me off rem here very quickly. What happened with Cummings being so hard a few days? All the press that is coming from Liberia. You know, right here, the one I'm reading right on the front, the one way on top, Cummings gave hope to young graduates. And the other day, they said Cummings intensified his engagement with the youth. What's going on? How that happened?
Well, Mr. Toll, you see, campaign has strategies. And the young people are in majority in Liberia today. I think 60% of the youth are voting, are young people. So in a given election, these people you have to engage in. But Mr. Cummings have been engaging young people, but since the campaign now, it's just intensifying because I think August 24th, I think Benson Street, somewhere Snapper Hill, they were doing some late tracking thing with young guys and things like that. But that's the nature of the campaign. You have to know where your strength and the voting population. So it's just one of those things you're doing.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to you, Mr. Josh. And I know you do have the ability to shoot straight. Then that's why Cummings going to make you a police director because you shoot straight.
I'm not qualified to be a police director.
Well, you'll be BTP away by you.
No. No.
But anyway, no, on a serious note, let me ask you this question. I know you've been following the political activities in Liberia, even though it's far away from all of us. But let me ask you this. Who do you think perhaps has the best strategy at this time? Oh, hey, man. Yeah, Mr. George, hold on here. Let me get these CDC people out of my way tonight because they're scared of me. Now they all calling one by one. Let me put, hold on 1 minute. I number nine. What's on your mind? Why are you calling me so much soon tonight? So, what's going on?
How you doing, Mr. Toe? How you doing?
Y'all will be defeated, right?
Funny. Hey, I just wanted to comment on the topic of discussion this evening.
Wow.
Nobody wishing for Omen Parker to be sick or nobody want to talk about Omen Parker health issue. But like you were saying when you started the show, I've been following the show from the time you started the show before Terry and Pat George came on, right? The man is a presidential candidate, right? If the man leaving the country for any reason,
But I number nine. Hold on. The statement I made when I opened the show, that one that liquor talk.
Yeah.
You see what in my head? That liquor talk. That one that liquor talk.
No, but let me just be frank. Let me just be frank. Look, if a stand-up bearer for a political party, one of the leading political party in the country, leaving the country that early, that's concerning. Okay? I'm not talking about who sent the video, who gave the video, all the other cases. They say that Bo Ali is an intelligent person, but even in the Unity Party government, he never worked at the NSA, he never worked at the Ministry of Defense. I don't know where he get all his intelligent knowledge from. But let's get to the topic. Why are they taking Omen Parker out of the country 5 a.m. in the morning? If it is not something important, if it is not something, very, very serious. Why? Why he cannot fly in the day like a regular They're a regular passenger. That's concerning. That's what I'm saying. That's very concerning. Okay? That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, let me just answer. I'm not answering for Ambassador Baka. I'm just answering based on the fact that I have mouth to talk, and so I will talk. Why, if Ambassador Baka, somebody say, I want you to meet with me within the next 4 hours, and they call him 3 o'clock in the morning, and the plane is available, and you don't take part, and Ambassador Baka and the man send ticket and everything. Why you must wait for you? You must wait for your CDC for you to wake up in the morning before you say I'm gonna go, or you must go and announce it to say I'm going to travel? No, let me do no kind of thing, man.
No. So let me say something.
I thought you said you were leaving. I thought you said you were leaving.
What kind of arrangements are made? People send charter flights. What kind of arrangements are made? People send charter flights. Okay, people charter planes to take you on the country. You will not ride on a plane with regular. That's my point. With regular passengers.
But why? Like that's the flight that is available for him to travel.
No, and Mr. Let me just tell you. That particular flight leave like bro 7 o'clock every time, every morning. That flight leave like bro when 7 o'clock. That's a regular flight.
Okay.
So that is not an issue. And Ambassador Baka, what flight he go with? That's not no issue to raise. I mean, terrible.
But hold on 1 minute, guys. Let me warn the audience again. And because this is a liberal progressive, the language we use here, we're very careful. If people start writing, you write again, and this is the last warning, folks. Anybody that will use words that are not of decent character, decent proposal to anybody here on the phone, I will excuse you from the conversation. Please. We do these things here. None of us getting paid. People call in to express themselves. You have the right to call in to express yourself. But we cannot and we will not tolerate anybody to say things that are not in good faith with the people. I'm watching. Thank you. Mr. George, let me take the caller here, I think. Sam, Ira, I will, okay, thank you. Samson told what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, good evening. This is Vincent Kier.
Okay, Mr. Kier, thank you for calling. What's on your mind?
Man, I listen to the show, and I find it so logical to extend that when people are looking at Joseph Baka to be like private citizen, forget to know the man's public citizen. The man from the day one he decided to run as a president, is not for running for one person, even a family, not for a own family. So when people discussing my man health, they say no, you leave it. Or you know, people don't leave it. I mean, personal property or personal.
But let me ask you. Mm-hmm. So why the man become president? That your business?
That's not issue.
If the man want you to know what he want you to know, he has the right. And you can say because you tell me you want to Ghana the other day, you tell me I will not vote for you. That's your choice. But you cannot say the man will open his medical history is an open book to you because he want to be a president.
You have to know about man health is the man if he win. If he win, it's not property for.
What about if he win? Say when he win.
When he win, it's not property for your country. So in that case,
wait till he win, then he can be a property. But right now he win, he's not your property yet.
No, in the arsenal of him winning. In the arsenal of him winning, he's so in a race of contesting as a president. Okay. So you have to make sure to know what are the men that want to be president.
What you say your name again? What's your name again?
Vincent Kier.
Vincent Kier, thank you very much for even allowing me to engage with you. I respect your view.
We have to extend, but you're not from Joseph Baka because
President, we are live that open both for us. Why even he's president. Because he's president. He already president. He already president for us.
When the Christmas be good, you start to see
you gonna start with him?
No, let me just come in. The way you know if I behaving now, if that man become president, do you know somebody can go talk against him? You go to jail?
No, I don't think so. Ambassador Baka will not. No.
When you talk about
look at him.
You know only men ballot. Everybody can be
because our father. Nobody wants to talk. But
the man only from one person. You know that.
Yeah, but when you win, then we can share it with you. But right now, we don't want to share it. We don't want to share
If you
it.
don't criticize Joseph Boyka, you criticize Joseph Boyka, they won't care for you. Then mean that we become president.
Vincent, let me say this to you. Thank you very much for pushing back on me. I really, really appreciate that. I think calling here and not count tail to the host is something that I really respect and I appreciate that. Thank you very much for your call. Please, whenever I open my mouth here and say something about that you don't agree with, call and disagree with me, just like you have done here.
That's why I call for, because you know, so now when you talk about Unity Party, it feels so comfortable to talk about them. When we talk about CCC, it's like when somebody degrees on you, it feels so hurt.
Thank you. Yeah. Don't get too far now. Thank you. Let me take Evans. Evans, I believe this is Evans talking. Evans, are you there? Hello? Wait a minute. Okay. All right. Mr. Josh. Okay, let me take the. I even put a number up here tonight on that they owe me. Good evening. Yes. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
How you doing, Mr. Toad? This is Elvis calling.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Look, I want to make a public service announcement to everybody listening to the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joseph Boyka is in excellent health.
Thank you.
Nothing is wrong with him.
You got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes. Go ahead, talk all you want to talk. You got 10 minutes.
He's gonna live another 89 years.
I have 5 more minutes on there. You got 15 to
and
talk.
The Lord will bless him with multiple.
Talk.
I
like your conversation already.
Look, the reality is, this is the burden of having an elderly candidate. Anytime,
where you going with that one? Where you going with that one?
Mr. Toll, let me
no, man. You finish saying Google G now.
Anytime anything jack, and the first thing the people will run to, what's going on with the old man? Is he okay? When Mr. Comey take trade in the middle of the national money, nobody worry about, what happened to Comey.
Yeah.
But the man, baby police, small man iron jacket, so everybody know the man fit. So when someone like Boyka,
where you coming from tonight?
The point I'm making is,
yeah, but you all over the place,
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
The reality is, everybody knows that whenever Joseph Boyka leaves the country unannounced, whenever he makes any kind of sudden movement in terms of travel, that's the first place the entire nation's mind.
But Elvis, as educated as you are, on a very serious note, why don't we give these people a benefit of the doubt?
Look,
why must we
the
always
last caller
try
I just
to?
called?
Yeah.
The last caller I just called made it clear. This is a public servant, although he's not serving us publicly right now, but he is in the eyes of the nation, and the nation has a high interest in him, not only in him but in his health. And for those of us who are skeptical, even those of the people who support him, people from the Unity Party camp, they know that, God forbid, if something happens to Joseph Boyka, Jeremiah Cohn cannot carry that ticket by himself. He can't be at the top of the ticket and win a national election. They have to use Joseph Boyka's face, and he has to use his living body in order to gain, political power in that country. So look, if nothing happens to Joseph Boyka and he's able to go through these elections and he's fortunate enough to win, it will be the same sentiment. Anytime he has to be rushed out of the country in a sudden manner, people will wonder about what's going on with his health. Okay. It comes with the territory just based on his age.
No,
so
I agree with you. I agree with you, and I agree with the audience. The only time I can say none of your business when I'm talking to Mr. George and Mr. So. But as far as the audience is concerned, I agree that they have the right to want to know. And so when I opened my show earlier, I made a statement to say these people need to let people know Liberians are sophisticated enough, they are old enough, they're big enough, they know the difference between Tabata and true story. If you tell them what is happening right now and somebody try to utilize that as way of propaganda or what have you, they have the ability to understand. So no, I get your point, but thank you.
And lastly, before I leave, Mr. Joe, please permit me. Like you said, the Unity Party people, those handlers, and those propagandists, they're trying to make it seem like it's an insult to Joseph Boyka for the Liberian people to be worried about his health. And I think that's disingenuous. If you can't come out, like you said, like the more allies can't come out and say, oh, the ambassador wasn't feeling well, he went for an emergency checkup, but he's gone and everything is on the up and up. And we thank God he's in good health, he's in good spirits. He'll be back home, in the next couple of days. Look,
I think
there's nothing wrong with that.
I think what they should have done was immediately as Ambassador Barker was taken to the airport, whether it be Springfield or Robberfield, right there and there, they should have a press conference and have Ambassador Barker to not necessarily to say exactly what he's going for, but let him show his face and let him tell the people, I'm going to Ghana and I will be back. With that kinds of conversation.
Thank you, Mr. Toh. I will leave it there and I'll listen to you guys. So thank you for taking my call.
Why run away now, Evans?
I don't want to show it. I want to make my 2 points. I don't really got much more to say, so I just leave it there. Okay. I want to hear about George. I want to hear Terry's rebuttal to the callers.
Okay. All right. Let me take this other caller. All right, Evan. Thank you. Samson told Labron Pablo. Before you do that, let me bring in Dr. Sawyer, Dr. Tipote, Dr. Famler, soon to be PhD, and let me bring him on here. Malice, who been running away from the liberal for so long, let me bring him on here. Malice, good evening. Thank you for joining us. Let me caller, hold on. Let me merge this thing. Malice, I'll be coming to you. Let me take this caller and I'll come to you. Let me merge this thing here. Caller, just hold on, hold your peace. Let me merge this. Okay. All right. Go ahead. The first caller, go ahead. What's on your mind? That would be Wilson. That is.
Yeah. How you doing?
That trouble.
So you want to tell me that I pray? Yeah, no, you pray on that show. You show that the country you are praying for, that Boyka you are praying for. I never know.
You saw.
You pray over that show. I see you pray.
No, I pray before I came on. I pray for the country and I pray for Ambassador Barker. I pray for President Weah. I pray for this opposition. I pray for everybody every time I come on.
Me not today. I hear your prayer. Because I pray. I only pray. I think that Barker you are praying for. I think like the country you are praying for. You know what you're talking. When it comes to Alexander Comey, you can be all over the place. Come to President Weah, you can be all over the place. When it comes to Barker, then you say that old man. What old man want you smoking food? When I talk about him, what? What part about him? When you leave in the country, the last time President Weah leave the country, I say the United Parties process President Weah not get notice. The next thing out of the country, then you say when I talk about him, okay. You want to say you want overthrow President Weah?
Overthrow?
That's person. And then you don't want to take power now. You say they don't want to take power. Why you can't do something different now? Because they say President Weah left the country. You need to know about it. And I'm not over social media. And we play here now in election all like that. You sneak out of the country. The country now. Then they come out. They come and say, when I talk about it, when I talk about it, I will drag you. I think I like it, and I like to drag it. The way I can drag our president, I would drag it on the social media. So, you're like it, you're not like it, we'll drag Waka on the social media because they're not being honest. They're not being honest. Why are they sick? They get to the message. Everybody can get sick. Hey,
but how they will, let me push back on this a little bit. How they will tell you the message when they are not medical doctors? They can't tell you the message. They don't know. They are not medical doctors.
They're not being sick. Uncle, long time they're not being sick. What kind of thing will make you the fly when he quick to Ghana? Why election you on? They're not trying to be honest because they're not trying to be honest. Not people in the bed will poke it and they come out. And they come out. You know, I gotta say, when I thought, I see one drug was drinking and shit, I don't know, get back. We'll drag that party, when you owe you, go find clothes so that you want eat much food will come for you. I gotta say, but thank you for the show.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate it. My goodness.
Trouble, yeah.
They call it trouble, Nancy.
Go ahead. Hold on 1 minute. Let me merge this call. The next caller. Let me merge this. Please just bear with me. Let me merge it. Okay. Ambrose, you'll be okay. Go ahead. Caller 2338. 2338. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, my name is Augustus P. Flumbo, and thanks for having me on your show.
Okay.
You said one thing. You said,
can you hold on? Can you hold on, Gus? Can you hold on 1 minute? Let me merge this. I don't want that person to drop. So hold on 1 minute, because when I don't merge and you're talking.
No.
All right, Gus, go ahead.
Yeah. So you said that medical doctors. So I mean that's fair enough, but a medical doctor, can check your body. They can check your blood. They check, they check different things on you, and then they can determine whether you are sick or not. But another person who can really tell whether they're sick or not is the person himself. Okay, because you can feel what's going on in your body. When something changes your body, when you're feeling pain, so you yourself can tell whether you're sick. And Joseph Walker told us that he's sick because on Team Agile show he said he's wearing a pacemaker, and you don't wear pacemaker for nothing. Nobody with a healthy heart. That is
so where one there rather your sedition? Let me ask you, what one there really hurting your feeling on 18 years? You tell me now. What one there really hurting you?
Okay, the one I heard here that when you say you're not medical doctor to tell whether the man sick, meanwhile the man himself say he's sick. You see? Then number two. Joseph Boaga left the country Nicodemously. Nobody knew about it.
Amen.
They have to tell her where the man going. You say the man not president, we understand, but I mean we all live in the Western world. When you're running for president in this America, we always compare Liberia America, right? When you someone
hold on.
That's wrong. Where you and the Republican and the Democratic presidential candidate will be running. Everybody they have passed their primaries.
Okay.
When they passed the primary, the opposition, they gave them security. The American government paid for the security. Because why? You are one step away from the presidency.
We are doing the same thing. You're citizen. You're doing the same thing to Ambassador Waka. You're giving him money for travel.
No, I'm not saying that.
But then don't say that one. That you don't need to know where you're going. You ain't paying away. You're not doing anything for him.
Because now he's our property. Tell America now he's property for the opposition. That is one step away.
We ready to gain all you. But thank you, Jake. Thank you.
But let me say the last thing now.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Just 30 seconds. The last thing. You said when Joe Walker got in the plane, the guy should have a press conference. Okay? That the woman is going to do. You know the reason why they couldn't have that press conference? They were scrambling because Mo Ali, Dr. Tapper, and all those guys in the highest echelon of the Unity Party, they didn't know what Joe Walker was. They were scrambling until one of the family members from Ghana called them and said, "Man, the paper here." That's when they made that press conference. They didn't know because they wanted to make it secret. Yeah, no, they didn't know.
Okay, all right.
They didn't know. But thanks for having me.
Thank you. But Molly's why Molly's left again? But anyway, all right. Let me put Molly's on. Molly, why you left? Molly's. I don't know why you left.
No, I was not getting no sound.
Yeah, but Molly's go on to the stuff and see if it has to do with your system.
No, in fact, the whole internet was breaking apart, so I couldn't. I was hearing
everybody's doing well here. Josh is on. Terry is, folks. Just hold on 1 minute. One of my analysts is having some issues, so you just bear with us. But Molly's, try again, please. Try again.
No, I will call now. I'm at work.
Okay, all right, okay.
But we're hearing him.
Okay, and everybody hearing you. Okay, folks, I can't take more than 5 people on at a time, so people are gonna drop now. Ambrose, please make it brief. I'm not gonna take any more call again until I'm done with everyone that is listed here. Ambrose, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a tool.
Yes.
By George and Kerry. How you doing?
Thank you.
It's a tool established on fight. Do you believe that Mr. Walker is a heartbeat for the presidency? Yeah?
Okay. Thank you for establishing that fact. What's your point?
It helps is a concern to every meaningful Liberian.
Okay.
You know, nobody wants anybody to be sick or wish anybody's father or dad to be sick. But, you know, okay, political party can be people to themselves. Mr. Barker, before VP, the honest Liberian people will make this an issue. You know, everybody here in America will, one way or other, have an issue. You either have a high cholesterol, you have a high blood pressure, or you get diabetes. Everybody go for physical, go for treatment. But when somebody that is seeking the highest position in the land and want to be secretive about his health, it will become an issue.
Okay.
And this is not an issue, but they're making it an issue. If everybody knows that blood system is full or it's not to touch now, and if you go to see medical attention, why you think that they go to say, for so and so reason, our state of is going out of the country, you'll be back to a certain.
Okay. Ambrose, you got to make it brief. There are a lot of people online. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
This is a problem. Everybody, I was here. I have a pre-diabetic.
Okay.
I'm not going to be lying about this.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ambrose. You can just hang up and let the next caller.
I don't know why, but Joseph Walker criticize Joseph Walker to 20 people.
Okay.
Criticize it or say something. Because right now, they get two prominent journalists that is being threatened.
Okay. Okay, Ambrose. Wow. Ambrose, thank you. Thank you. Tonight is the room is packed. Thank you. Can you hear me? Ambrose, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can he hear Ambrose? Can you hear me?
Just call him next time. Let's call him. He's not hearing you.
Ambrose, can you hear me?
My last thing, I sent you a text. You saw that.
You can't hear me.
And what he said in that text, if he said in detail or
okay.
It's not normal.
Thank you. All right. Okay. APPL Appleton. Go ahead.
Appleton.
Yeah. Appleton. Yes. I'm sorry, madam. I'm sorry. But go ahead.
Good evening to all of the panelists.
Thank you. Madam, can you just hold on 1 minute? Let me merge this caller because I don't want people to drop, please. Okay. Appleton, go ahead. Hold on. You're the last caller. Go ahead. Appleton, go ahead.
Okay, so I do have a concern when speculations are all on social media that GMB is being rushed out of the country.
Okay.
When somebody is being rushed, there's an emergency.
Right.
We saw GMB walking, and from all indication, that wasn't the airport camera. Somebody was video recording him.
Right.
Because when he twisted, you could see the person shifted, and you could see from that direction. This is a serious security implication. For me, I'm actually not concerned about what they say about his health. My concern is there's a man that has been honest to say, I'm having a pacemaker. Had he not said it, nobody would have known.
Right.
So since when did it become that his going out and coming in should be publicized? Are they trying to tell him now? Video recording him and making it public? Okay. I don't know how we see it, but I tell you this one thing. There will be no stone thrown to an empty tree. There should be some juicy fruits.
Oh my goodness! What kind of tree that one? That pineapple tree or that orange tree with the juice?
It gotta be a mango.
Oh my goodness!
It gotta be a mango. Whether that's German plum or country plum or sucking plum or kerosene plum or it got to be some juicy tree. You know, there's nothing marketable about the candidate anymore. You don't even know which is which anymore. As if GMB is the incumbent right now. Come to think about it, Josh Weir is the biggest gorilla in the house. I thought the opposition should be directing all of the shots at Josh Weir.
All right, madam, we got a lot of.
We are in the opposition, being at loggerheads. This is just to tell us that the ANC is CDC by extension. I'll stop it right there.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me merge this other caller here. Thank you, madam. We appreciate it. Next caller in line, folks, will be coming to you very shortly. Let me, Kamara, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, make it brief. We got a lot of people on the line, and I want my panelists to be able to wrap it up as well. So go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Jacob D.M. Kamara, calling from Maryland.
Okay. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind tonight is concerning JMB.
Okay.
You know, this is a political season.
Yeah.
You know, people are confusing everything. All Canadians have right to travel. They have a lot of reasons to travel for. But Liberians, I cannot understand them. You have to go around because there's an election. And at the end of the day, whenever anything happens, people will come in to help monitor the election, do everything. So your concern is security. And we see in Liberia today, there's no security. GNB not going to sit the 2017 election. At the end of the day, he said, well, let's just agree. No, we are not going to do that. And two, from 2017, we've been hearing the same thing. GNB is sick. GNB is a sick person. 6 years have gone. The same thing. If you go through the story right now, it looks like the great nation like Israel. Israel president have pacemaker, and he's still serving. It's a great nation. They are not discussing that.
Okay.
But Liberia, because we want to embrace corruption, we want people who corrupt. That's why we bring all those things.
Okay.
And we know at the end of the day, JMB is going to be successful.
Thank you.
We know that.
Thank you. Thank
So
you. We
that's
got a
my
lot of people.
contribution to life.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Don't hesitate. Next time we come on, please call us and make your contribution. Let me go on to the next caller. Rose, are you with us? What's on your mind? Okay, this is gonna be the last caller.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on 1 minute. Let me merge Kendrick. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead, Rose.
Yeah, I want to say good evening to your panelists and good evening to you, Mr. To.
Thank you.
My concern to this topic this evening is just, it baffles me, Mr. To the panelists and to all my Liberians. Nowadays in Liberia, there's no confidentiality. Nowadays, you remember, people, there's no confidentiality. People in the United Party or even the opposition, or even in the government, there are some confidence document in the government, in the various ministry that's not supposed to be leaked. People are leaking, people leak those documents out in the public, and the same opposition came out and handled those leaked documents and ran with it. Just recently, this guy from the guy on Freedom FM, A.B. Cousin William, his school grade, his law school, when he graduated, he had because when he went to the board test, and he said people in the same law school leaked the guy grade out to Martin Court or whatever. It was all over the place, and which of course it was unlawful. We didn't say it was unlawful. We didn't say we didn't bash on Martin Court. We didn't bash on those people that leaked this document. It's not right.
Okay.
Now, Cousin William is a public figure, of course. He's not running for president or whatever. We all bash. We all say we laugh about it. This is a campaign time. It's just like a football game. Make mistakes, somebody correct your mistake and run with it. Secondly, I want to ask: is the airport not a public area? Is the airport restricted? Get restriction for people? If they say get restriction for anybody not to take a photo or a camera, means a photo of anybody. The airport is not a restriction area. The airport is a public area. The airport belongs to everybody. Secondly, the lady said JMB came out to say he was sick. That's not excuse for that. JMB said it after the information came out. JMB all the time he went for a pacemaker, he was not well, whatever. Nobody bashed over his health. But he did not come out to say earlier until I think that was Kevin San on after he on Spoon TV came out with information that JMB went to do pacemaker before he came out and he admitted it.
Okay.
So he is entirely no. My third point.
Yeah, please, but make it brief. I got other people behind it. They have to express themselves as well.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, let me make it brief. Terry, how will you say JMB go on an official business to go meet one or two people, and then when with his son, he did not go no party members, he did not go with his son, and assuming the time of the time that JMB went to the airport, the United Party or the opposition have been complaining on the road, how dangerous the Rafi road is, how terrible it is. How would it is that complaining they will wake up early in the morning and drive on the same dangerous road to carry somebody? They say they go for business plan. They say it's not an emergency.
All right,
It is
thank
an
you.
emergency.
Thank
and
you.
This is the politics. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, two more. Malice, you're part of us, so you stay on that. Let me take two more calls. Josie, go ahead. What's on your mind? Hello, Valdez.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for taking my call, Baklu. This is Steady 10 Lion Yakon.
Okay.
From Fargo, North Dakota.
Thank you for joining us.
I serve as the global chairman for the most CDC auxiliary in Lima County. They are in the trenches. They are trying to unseat Prince Johnson. Most auxiliary are in a fierce battle with Prince Johnson.
And who you're bringing? Who you're bringing? Ronaldo?
What you mean by most accelerate? This CDC nigga do what kind of thing to go in your country here, man?
Who you're bringing? You're bringing Ronaldo?
I serve as the global chairman for the most and fastest CDC auxiliaries in district number 1, 30 district in Lima County.
Okay.
I control.
But you say you want to remove Prince Johnson. Who you're bringing? Ronaldo?
No, let me remove Prince Johnson. We're trying to get rid of detractors in our society.
Oh, okay.
Jeremiah Cohn, Prince Johnson, they are detractors. Okay.
All right.
If we talk about JMB issue, that's why I brought up Prince Johnson business up.
Oh, okay.
Because those are people that behind the scene they are trying to play some kind of diabolic work against the old man, so that the old man can pass out, so in order for them to take the first place. What happened to the old man in a few days? The diabolic unity partisan, they're always using the steroid on the old man, so that the old man can be giving those stuff of fake slides in the old man.
You said they're using steroid on him?
Oh yes. Those things that become a drug.
And CDC look at you. CDC look at you, and then they say you're gonna be a global chairman. Wow. Go ahead.
It has nothing to do with that, but
I agree with you.
Don't jump in my throat.
No.
Not because Mr. Sue is not on the stage right now. Don't just jump in my throat. I know he's the one that always try to compare you to check negative. What I'm saying is that they're not really funny about it. You know what is happening?
No, you know who we are. We just have fun here. But go ahead.
The old man not supposed to be among part of radioactive materials, like all the unity partisans, they using a steroid on the woman, and they got all the cell phones in their pockets, and the pacemaker.
They come press the cell phone.
Radioactive material. That's a fact. That's a fact. But it's not for me. One person don't like to use profanity,
brother.
or to denigrate the woman in a kind of a wrong way. But I just want to speak to the truth.
Thank you.
The fact is that those radioactive materials, after those steroids and radioactive material, where the woman and as a result, what you expect, the woman will get sick.
Okay,
and
my brother, let me take the other caller. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you expressing yourself. Thank you very much.
You're being very rude. When you should take me off the line.
Who said I'm gonna take you? No, nobody said I should take you on the line.
The person who said that, taking me off the line.
No, nobody will not take anybody. Don't argue with other people. Talk to me. Talk to me.
We will not allow you to come to power because you're being rude. You have a clear motive for this country.
All right.
CDC is the best.
Okay, thank you.
Where is the best.
Thank you.
The tangibility. The President we have so many tangibles, so nobody can pull food.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you.
And this Jules, you're gonna be with us, so I'm not taking you out. Let's go to Kedrick. Kedrick, are you there?
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Steele. Thank you very much for allowing me to be part of this program. I'm calling from North Carolina. Sometimes when I listen to individuals and people in the country talking about JB health, they're not being objective. They live in America, they honor Joe Biden of 80-some years old and having all that they need. If they want to be objective, the Council of Churches, the Press Union of Liberia, the civil society, And the citizen, they should demand that all candidates should put forward their medical records. Then that way we'll decide who is who. You're in your 50, maybe you got prostate cancer, you got obesity. It doesn't mean because you're 60 years and you don't have medical records, you don't have medical problems. So all they're doing is distraction. They're not being objective. And, JMB on health shouldn't be an issue. All candidates have to be an issue. You got a lot of them walking around with obesity, diabetes, sexually transmitted diseases, and prostate cancer of their ages. Then they continue to pound the man about his age. It's very ridiculous. And they shouldn't be a part of the discourse. If they want to be objective, let the Press Union of Liberia, the Liberian Council of Churches, the civil society, they should come out and they should provide a medical record. They do that in America. The president goes for annual checkup. They all know that. They sit in North Dakota, South Dakota, pounding somebody's health record when they know that Joe Biden goes for physical every year, and we know his medical record. Trump did it. If we want to make our country the same, we should demand those kind of records, and we should be objective about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, folks, that will be the last caller. Thank you, guys. Let me go back to the panel. Let's start with Molly. Are you still with us?
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry for the mix-up of the system here tonight with you. But what we're going to be closing up very shortly. But what's on your mind? What is it that you want? Perhaps if you were with us, what would be on your plate?
Yeah, I just want to first of all appreciate the last caller. To register as a political party and to be a standard bearer, the issue of medical record is not one of the criteria. But I only say this to say that Joseph Barker was the first who put a medical issue on the shelf. Now people are running to buy it. And those who supporting Joseph Barker, I think they are doing him gross disservice. Because there's the parable that says, if a father is not transparent, accountable to his children in the house, he can never be transparent, accountable to the community and its people. I yield.
No. You can't yield, leaving us hanging. You got to do better. You got to do better. Who not transparent with their children? And what community are you talking about? Go ahead, give us a little bit better than something like that, Molly. Go ahead.
You see, just how I want to drum up my own support for Mr. George when he came from the angle that Joseph Boakai had, and this is campaign time. People are looking for anything to hold on. But if Joseph Boakai is leaving at that type of hour with his son, that's a private trip. He did not leave with the Secretary General of his party or his vice president. That's a private visit. And Joseph Boakai health have been on the radar for a long time. Why? Because the people have been talking about it. So
Okay.
if Joseph Boakai is not transparent with some of the food he get on his dining room table, there is no way Joseph Boakai can be transparent with the society he intends to run.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Let's go before as we go through the place. Say thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Are you still on course for tomorrow, or that's something? Okay, so you're on course for tomorrow.
On course, I seen me doing my interview, or you and I having a talk.
Yes, no,
not the guy has not. He has not reached back yet to reschedule.
Okay, we still got.
We can do tomorrow if you like. That's fine.
Okay. All right. So go ahead. What would be your contribution of the conversation we've been having tonight?
Well, I was going to ignore a lot of the people who call, but for the fact that my brother Mali just tried to analyze something and the connection is so flawed. It's like LEC connection. Yeah. That logic is short-circuited. Look,
LEC connection. Those are theft. They steal stuff. You're talking about soon to be PhD. Then you say connection.
But on a serious note, why is he saying that because Joseph Boakai left? And again, I hate to be doing this free work for the Unity Party people.
But you are Liberian anyway, and plus he's your uncle. Anyhow.
Yeah, but I'd rather be here talking about my guy Tier 1, our VP candidates in the country. But this is important. Let's talk about it. Mr. Mali is basing his analysis on the flawed assumption that political parties in Liberia operate the way political parties ought to operate. How many times have Joseph Nyuma Boakai left the country with the Secretary General and all the other people that he named here? I made this one out today to be personal because he didn't carry it. How many times? How many times have Alexander Benedict Cummings traveled to the country with his party chairman, all the other people there that will make it official versus he coming with his wife? Let's leave that thing, man. That is not that was based on an assumption that is not true.
But I agree. We're gonna leave it. But let me ask you this.
Let me please, because I had to educate one of our learned brothers one time, because people don't take the time to read. And when they post stuff on Google, the first thing that pop up, they don't try to check the source of it. They run with it. Yeah, my brother here in Fargo talking about somebody get radioactive, like cell phone got radiation and radioactive stuff, two different things. But we'll not talk about that one here today, right? So sometimes
my goodness,
it gets me really speechless sometimes. Your heart works like a generator. Your heart has a lot of electrical stuff going on. And so the reason a pacemaker is put in is somewhat to jumpstart, to give you to get that when it's not kicking on its own, to give it like an extra shock of electricity. Having a pacemaker in your heart, in your chest, in your shoulder, it's not a death sentence. Why? And I've seen some people who are even medical doctors that will come here and make some of us afraid to even take chloroquine from them when they make these analyses. Let me put it in the ethos that since Joseph Nyuma Boakai announced that he's had a pacemaker, many other people have died and he's still here.
Mm-hmm.
Many people younger than him have died and he's still here. People have to stop there.
They are not God.
And the last thing, there were two previous scholars, and I really agree with them. That is why I even tell my group, people that I support Tewo Gonglo with, that if we want to talk about Joseph Boakai health, we should ask Tewo Gonglo to release to go and do his medical and release his. Then we can have that conversation. Joseph Boakai's health stuff is in the news. Any other political group that want to talk about it, y'all bring your own person health stuff and put it out. Let them go and do their physical and you'll release it so we know how healthy they are. And because just because you're walking around and you look fit doesn't mean that you're not sick. And like the last caller said, there are people walking around with diabetes and a bunch of other stuff, right? But their biggest thing is Joseph Boakai would die, Joseph Boakai would die. My last thing, if you believe that the man who is vying against you for the presidency is going to die, I think if you know that for a fact, you ignore him and play on as if he's not even there because he will not be there at the end of the day. And you focus on how do you run your campaign, knowing that this man will not be there at the end of the day. He will die before you go to the election. So sometimes this Joseph Boakai is somebody's father, is somebody's grandfather. It hurts me to come and talk about it. I don't support the Unity Party. I don't support Joseph Nyuma Boakai. But at some point in time, man, we got to get past these childish conversations.
Thank you. Terry, let me come to you. Yes.
I got a point of correction to make for Mr. Cisse.
Yeah, but can I come? Yeah, but Malice, this we don't do. You know that we don't do from one person to another. We put something in between, and we'll come to you.
Correction.
But this, we're not in a parliament. We're not in a parliament, and I'm not running a conservative city here. This is a liberal show. Let me put on a very serious note, Malice. You know the rule. Let me put somebody in between, and then you can come back. How's that? Malice, are you there? Okay. All right.
You're in the driver's seat.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, your CDC, you got no voice here. You're done. You see that man? You're putting in Fago that same people got pacemaker and radioactive phone in your head. That kind of person your CDC, your power, then you want to come and bring all your education.
The radio, I think coming from the power generator that joy we have built. So
but anyway, Terry, let me bring you in here, and then I'll go back to Carter will come to you. You know that will come to you definitely. But let me bring Terry in here. Terry, all of these things that you've been hearing for the last hour or so, and patiently sit now. What would be your reaction in short, please?
Yeah, it's just making me to ponder because obviously we expected this bombardment. But my question to them will be, that is the work of a journalist. If the puppet is very sick and you want to use it as a propaganda, you need to have a journalist that your government can pay, the Augustine Wayon or whatever from Freedom FM, pay him, let him go to Ghana. Let him go find out the facts concerning where Ambassador Boyka is taking treatment, because that could be used as a weapon to really boost the propaganda machinery. And that is what Rwanda CS can do. When Rwanda CS highlighted that Ambassador Boyka, when he came from America, he said Ambassador Boyka is going to be president. He's trying to be president. He's going to vie for the presidency. That blew up out of proportion. People said I was lying. And it was proving that it was true. So that is what journalists do. They follow information. You don't just sit down in the backseat and see somebody walking through the terminal and accuse them that the person is flying out of the country to go take treatment. Nobody, or some rational or person with head on the shoulder will never believe that. Number two is that you claim the man is sick. He was supposed to take a bypass heart treatment in America. Then how is he again going to another doctor in Ghana? That again is just conflicting information that full of propaganda that are untrue. So you always have to find your facts. You talk about President Weah, is transparent. I think that was Keto or somebody said President Weah transparent. Since 5 years, President Weah he have not had no press conference, major press conference discussing the issues in Liberia. Right now, they have run out of campaign message. Everywhere they go, they lie to the people, telling them they're sending, they're supplying articles with electricity. So they're out of campaign message. So the only thing they can do is to bombard Ambassador Boyka. Ambassador Boyka, like my big brother Sissy said, have been with this pacemaker and people claim he's sick. They may have been energetically moving all around. Ambassador Boyka was in Ghana with Mr. Cummings before. Who did he carry? What was discussed? He left the country secretly the same way. He went with you. We saw him in the plane. Who did he carry? What was discussed? He went with Costa in Ghana. Was he sick during those times? So if this man decides to travel, if he decides to travel on the impromptu travel, all right, to go and handle business, because this is campaign. Campaign requires money. It requires investment. So if the man decides to travel on an impromptu visit, then the whole country begin to claim that this is, the man sick because it came from a journalist who could not do his homework well. You expect me to believe it? Pajos talk about how Obe said that Mr. Cummings was a gay. So as a result, it took everybody and you think rational men like me that have head on my shoulder have not seen any proof of evidence. A man who have his wife and children live an exemplified life, honest character with credibility. I'm going to buy that kind of propaganda that the man is a gay. Come on, man. That is the reason. You see, that is our society is full of this kind of gullible people that just take haphazard information and run with it and expect their followers to buy it. The only kind of people that can buy those kind of things are seditious and weird. But I who went to school and sound-minded man, I'm not going to buy it.
So we are here, they ain't go to school. We are here, they ain't go to school.
No, they went to school, but they live by anything that any propaganda that they package together that will all any facts or truth, they run with it because they want to. Their focus is that President Weah must be president. So in other words, the way to get President Weah to be president is to accuse Ambassador Boyka of having medical problems.
Okay.
You see, and these things are uncalled for.
Thank you, Mr. George. Before I come to you, let me go to Mali's here. He said he wanted to make some clarification. But Mali, let me ask you this, then you can, as smart as you are, I know you will use the opportunity to clarify something, and then perhaps you're able to answer it. So with all of these discussions we're having right now, are we to say that CDC propaganda machine has won? Because we are not even talking about anything positive towards any of the other candidates except what CDC have put out tonight, this hours or whatever it is, and that's all we're discussing. We're not discussing CDC failure. We're not discussing CDC blunder. We're discussing Ambassador Boyka health. So, Mali, is what I want to find out from you. You think CDC propaganda machine has and whatever they put out has worked in their favor?
No. I think it's very feeble. It hasn't worked. Okay. It's not strong enough.
Okay.
But we are having the discussion. Before I get to that, I just want to make one point of correction for for the panelist, Sisi.
Yeah.
Sisi is creating a scenario on this platform by way of his phone call that Ambassador Boyka is okay. The heart issue is normal. No. The correction here is that that issue of pager is involved, your heart condition is critical. That's the correction I want to make for Mr. Sisi.
Okay.
Your heart condition is critical. All right? So if Ambassador Boyka continue to survive up to this time, we continue to just pray for him.
Yeah.
Okay. But we should not create a scenario that, it's all right. It's normal. No, it's not normal. Once that pager issue is involved, a heart issue is a critical issue. So that's the point of correction I wanted to make for my brother and panelist, Sisi.
Thank you.
Right before Mali.
Hold on, Sisi. Hold on. Welcome to you. Go ahead. Mali's rapid so I can go to Mr. Josh.
Statement, that when a father is not transparent with his children, there is no way he can be transparent with the community and its people. What I'm simply saying here is that Ambassador Boyka, a health issue did not come as a surprise. He talked about it. Some of his own people talk about it. And so the opposition are picking it up and running with it. And the condition and the situation of Ambassador Boyka, heart issue, nobody should sit there and say it's a normal thing. No, it's critical.
Okay.
And so at the end of the day, if he is not transparent with this type of information, I don't know how is he going to be transparent when he become a president.
Okay.
And I stand by my analysis.
Okay. Is that subjective or an objective analysis?
That's objective analysis.
Okay. All right. I just
yeah.
Okay.
So that's the point of correction for my brother.
Why is that in trouble again?
Okay.
No,
let me go.
I let it tonight.
Yo, have your free time, Mr. So. We'll be back next week. But let me go to Mr. George. Mr. George, you also been listening here and make a break because we have CDC strongman on the other end.
Yeah, don't forget before Mr. Mali get tired, you forget. Let me let him know where his mistake is.
Okay. Mr. Judge, Mr. Judge, go ahead, Mr. Judge.
Look,
So I think with that statement since it just made, so I will allow let's allow ourselves to go over about 5 minutes here tonight. Go ahead, Mr. Judge.
All these things, I said it from the beginning. I blame the United Party folks. They have not been proactive. If Ambassador Obaka is traveling, why either the day before in the morning issue of president that this man is traveling to Ghana for some visit? Why they couldn't do that? The plane down there. The plane quarterback. They have not been proactive. The information came out almost at the end of the day before the country said, "Oh, the issue of press release." What it would have taken more out of anybody to say the vice standard bearer of the United Party tomorrow will be leaving all the money to go to Ghana to attend some businesses or business. Period. That's all they needed to do. But after they didn't say anything, now they come back after the news broke. Everybody now they all just coming running here and there to say they want to do correction. They think it's just simple. You don't get your opponent weapon to use against you. And on that, let me just put on it. No. Ambassador Obaka is a hard day away from the presidency of Liberia. He's a public figure. He's not like me. Who cares about me? Okay. Nobody cares about me. Okay. But when you become a public figure, you are a product of the people. So every eyes on you. If you're leaving to go anywhere, if you leave midnight, people will speculate. But if the information out there, you're going to leave in the morning, well, you want to speculate about your business. You put it out there already. But the chairman of the party could not even step where Ambassador Obaka had left for. Martin Luther, he couldn't step. So these are the issues that people create for us. That now we should have been talking about our candidate. We have spent the whole time on Joseph Boakai. Nathaniel, because I'm going to talk about Nathaniel Mange. This man, Vandera Patrick, had taken him to the Supreme Court to say that he's not a resident of McGivey. Because the election law states that you must, prior to the election, you must live in that country for 1 year or so. He didn't do so. The case at the Supreme Court. Now, these are issues we're talking about to see how the Supreme Court is going to rule on this issue. But yeah, we're talking about Ambassador Boakai. He left in the morning. People took his picture. All the kind of thing. Which is, of course, it is important because he's a public figure, but we should have been talking about some of our candidates, what they are doing. And let me say to the lady that calls, she said, it's just one of the people talking about the ANC is extension of the CDC. I don't know what she meant by that. She maybe the next time she calls, she can elaborate on that. And then on the AB guy thing, this is the same thing. AB is a radio personality in Liberia. He supports the CDC. He had been going after other politicians in Liberia. So if you go after other people, people will come after you. Okay. So if they want to put his law degree, law paper exam out there, it's a fair thing. He has been questioning other people. So why they can't question him? Okay. It's not something that you get mad about. He go after other people. He was the one that posted, I think he was one of those that posted Ambassador Boakai picture. That Ambassador Boakai had left for Ghana, he was ill. So why you think if the United Party people got some information, they will not put it out there? They will definitely put it out there.
Okay. All right, thank you.
The call don't get vexed with it. Oh, that Martin could put the information, but you're going after Martin support Honorable Boakai, you're going after his candidate. Why do you think if he gets him, he will not go after you too? He will go after you.
Okay, Culture will come to you. Let's give his clarification to the clarification here. And
I think we're doing the Alexander Kumi and Joe. We are letter thing.
Man, fire by Joe. We ain't talking Joe. I said, I'm a turn. Let me leave it, man.
No, I let my papa. The rabbi, he may respond one time. Alexander Kumi won't do anything again. Doesn't matter with you. I finish with my response. The rabbi, Akbana man, understand the whole process. But anyways, what Mr. Mali, I guess, did not hear what I said, and let me repeat that. I said that for you to conclude that because Joseph Boakai did not carry hierarchies of the political party and he carried his son, therefore that trip was a personal trip. I didn't say that his heart condition is normal. I did not say that. I said it is normal in Liberian political circles for these people to travel without their party machineries. It is not like what we do here in the United States. And I give the example about Cummings traveling without the party chairman. I give the example of a lot. So please, the understanding was not that his heart situation is normal or abnormal. I did not speak to that. I spoke to the issue of you saying the fact that he did not carry the Secretary General of the party and he carried his son, that presumes something else. And that's why I'm telling you, he's traveled a lot of the time without those party leaders, and he's been official visit. That's the point I was trying to make.
Jesus. What? Anyway, okay. Thank you, Sissy.
But let me say my last thing on my heart, and then let me just wrap up. So I really wanted us to have actually had a conversation about WIAC. The results are out. We need to parse the result and give kudos to parts of the LeBron education system that deserves to be patted on the back, and then but also show some holes and some flaws that maybe people who are educational leaders in Liberia can start to look at for next year for our the students that are about to take WIAC, and what needs to be done to kind of mitigate some of the things that lead to the kind of systemic issues we see in the WIAC scores. But we didn't have time to talk about that. We've been talking about leaving to.
But let me ask you this, Carter. I'll be coming to you here. Let me ask you this, Sissy. I know you've been in Minnesota for quite a while and have tried, because the last time I was over there, you must have had that conversation. You have tried to see if you can represent your own brothers and sisters, and now you are the math director of the entire Minneapolis school district, as far as it. So if you were to represent the Brooklyn Park community, whatever position you and that compared to what you're doing now, which one pays the most, and which one has the most prestige?
It's not about pay.
No, Mr. You see that, Mr. Sona, I come and pack you in the bike. I come and pack you in the bike. I the leper you dealing with. I come and pack you in the bike.
Okay,
the first thing, let me talk to my brother Flomo Augustus. My man, my hair keep disappearing because I got a green screen behind me. So every time I lay deeper into the green screen, I think that's when you're seeing that. So sorry, my head is not going off and coming back on. So sorry about that. Your head keep disappearing. But the question about, was that the political race in Brooklyn Park versus
Brooklyn Center?
Brooklyn Center, yeah, I saw somebody writing here that they will keep rejecting me in Brooklyn Center. You know, sometimes you ignore some of those conversations because if people who don't understood what it takes to get to that level, some people will. But if I had won the city council seat in Brooklyn Center, let me put that in perspective. The mayor of Brooklyn Center makes $11,000 a year. The mayor,
a voluntary job.
$11,000 a year. So a city council person, you might make around $6,000, $6,500 a year.
So if you had to win that position, it was going to be a pay cut.
Yeah, it was going to be, but nobody does that job as their only job, though. It is a part-time job.
Okay, all right.
Nobody lives on $11,000 a year.
Okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow. Mr. George, Carter, just give me 1 minute. In fact, I don't even need to talk to you. Your sedition. No, your sedition. The platform here, when Liberal is running it.
You treat me on this show like a stepchild now.
But your sedition.
I use my remaining time to. I use my remaining time to.
Go ahead. They yield the time to you.
Thank you so much, my brother. So that's why you see, look, in any way, I will give you my vote for Tewa Gonglo. Anyway, but because you're always using your time to me. But anyone, a serious note.
Yeah.
Like I said before, when someone run for a public office, especially the presidency, his life become an open book. If Joseph Boyka was going to that airport and something terrible happened to him, the Liberian people would be all over it. What happened to the vice president? If he had gone that plane and that plane crashed somewhere, the people would say the government set that whole thing up for something happened with the leader. So it is only prudent for he or his campaign people or his whoever managing to give information that the former vice president will be traveling all Liberia so time and he going on so busy. That is good for our democracy. Secondly, when you do not put all information for public consumption, people will assume
and they will improvise.
the thing. So, this is what I said. It was nonsensical for Mo Ali to come out and start accusing a journalist or even accusing people in the security sector for giving out pictures or video of President. President
Mr. Cho, I have my last word. Don't forget.
Yeah, we're coming. All of you. We said we're gonna go over by 5 minutes.
Mr. Mali talking so?
Yeah.
He got a cassette. He want for all to play it.
Yeah, but Kota, you see this here, Mr. So now you have to protect you. Go ahead. I'm not protecting you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So on a serious note, right? I think it's a fair game. If you criticize President Weah for not producing his health record or asking President Weah for help record, whatever they say about President Weah is a fair game. It's a public figure. That also applies to Joseph Boyka.
Okay.
It is wrong for somebody in the hierarchy of the party to start threatening journalists at this point when this president has given free speech to people. You got people in the opposition are enjoying free speech.
Here we go. There we go. There we go. That CDC. They're very good at that.
No, we should condemn it. You on the record.
But your president said if someone calls you, do not walk the street of Monrovia.
Why would a politician want to sanction somebody?
That's not the same president who told us anybody calls me, they will not walk the street of Monrovia. That's not the same president. Please.
And people stay custody and walking free.
No, that's not the issue. That's not the issue. But anyway, go ahead. Let me bring. Okay, Carter. No, on a very serious note.
Yeah, I try you do your thing. Disrupting Mr. So coming. I will come back on the show. I will put some people in the corner where they will just say no comment at the end of the show.
Okay, all right. I know that you're setting for me, but I'm a liberal. I'm ready for all of you. Thank you. Okay, let me go around the room. 2 seconds or so each, please. We said we're gonna go over 5 minutes, so let's start with Malice. Malice, what will be your closing? Very short one, please.
Yeah, my closing here is that I completely disagree with Kessler on the issue of his president plotting the mass and other people plotting it and condemning them. What I want to tell Kessler here is that this man, he's at the helm of affairs. He must set the pace for the rest of the opposition to follow. So if he wins, he traveled to go for football holiday on taxpayer money according to sources. That was wrong. And so if he came back and he won the people, it's also wrong. So we cannot conclude that because he did not do it, so the opposition are held liable to also do it. No, these people, they are now at the helm of affairs. And secondly, it's not a criteria for them to answer to the Liberian people. It's out of courtesy, political courtesy, and maturity. They try to inform us about some of their own activities.
Thank you. All right, Mr. George, 2 seconds, please.
Let me just say that. Samson too.
Yeah.
Say when they take that job, if he want that seat, because after he leave that place, that when he will make the money. Because when he serve a consultant, then that when he will make 500,000 because he can tell them, hey, look at this, I can do this. So that when he says he will make the money. So when you say the council mayor, you will not make that money. But when you leave, then people will can't hire you now. Your expertise. That when they will start paying $400, $500 for 1 hour for CC. So that's that's one thing there. But on a very serious, let's say this. Look, everybody health is of a concern for us. I say, for me, I always say, nobody go anywhere to buy sickness and what. Nobody go to buy age. For me now, I have passed the calendar, my age off the calendar now, so I can't be bashing people.
Somebody wrote earlier though that you're not getting older. I don't know who that person is. Some lady said, Mr. Judge is not getting old. It's here. So I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what? I will now come and make myself like a spring chicken. Some morning before I get up, I got to grab one of my food. I said, oh, there's a pain in this leg here. So let's just live on a very serious note. I expect United Party people to be proactive, especially in this season. This campaign season now. So, but they were not proactive. Like they were caught unaware. They start playing the money quarterback, so it's not right. Yes, Mr. Miller, let me push back on you. The moment you announce for a public office, you now become a product of those people. You are the product. They own you now. So in other words, any move you make, they will look at you. When Obama was running, I didn't make a trip to Israel. He didn't get up soon the money and hide it. It was even on the news before he go. Once the plane it was already out that he will be traveling. So this is what happened. I know we can't compare America to that of Liberia, but it's a system that we're trying to build. So we have to take the good part and add it to everything that we try to build up. So if anybody is a presidential candidate, he live in Liberia. If one of our brother would have just said, "Hello," I call one boy to the president, "Hey, I'm leaving for Ghana. I will be back after tomorrow." That person would have told the story. So the only thing I disagree with people, the line that you wishing someone death. That's why I disagree with people. Totally against that.
Okay, thank you. Sese, before we go, and then we'll go to Terry. Go ahead, Sese, give us your closing. No, you'll be the last because I want to let the entire world know that you'll be my guest here one-on-one tomorrow for about hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's going to be a very serious conversation. So you'll be the last.
So why y'all be discussing tomorrow?
I'm not bringing your.
I'm not bringing.
I'm not bringing.
Who will be your guest?
Sese will be my guest tomorrow.
Oh my!
That's gonna be an excellent show. We'll be watching.
However way you want to describe it. I'm not bringing the far right and the center right on my show tomorrow. I'm not bringing Dr. Sawyer, Dr. People Ted, Dr. But don't worry about it. That we'll deal with that one. Terry, go ahead. Give us your closing. Folks, let Terry give his closing. Then we'll go to it.
Yeah, so thank you. It was a wonderful show. But what I want to say is this, right? To Mr. Marley, there is nothing Ambassador Boga will tell you guys that you guys will believe because you got a fixed mind. You talk about transparency. Ambassador Boga told you he's not sick. But you have made yourself to believe what you want to believe. So there is nothing Ambassador Boga tell you guys you will accept. So it's a propaganda. That is what politics is about. So the opposition is going to use every little chance they see. They're not going to follow up the story because they know it's not true. So what they're going to do is that they're going to hang on that little point, hoping that it will work. But the Liberian people got something for you. Remember Charles Taylor? They said, you came my man, you came my power, we'll vote for you. Remember President Weah? They said, you know both, you don't know both. When the Liberian people have made up their mind, the very thing you say about the candidate is what they will use to vote for that particular candidate. They are very good at that. So for me, I don't see it to be a problem. I want them to continue to hang on that pipe because the people are already sounding in the ear the caveat that whether he died, we will vote for him. We should remember that the Liberian people, they got a way that they can make up their mind long term before the day of election. That is how our people vote. So it's not bad for the CDC to keep running with dead news because you're telling me that the man is sick, but the man is supposed to take his treatment in America. I don't know if doctors are transferable. If the man's supposed to take his treatment in America, but he's supposed to go to Ghana again, to take. So is that how doctors work? Let somebody help me. But all in all, Ambassador Boyka is trending. That is why when I wake up in the morning to go to work 5 a.m., when I look at my phone, I got to see a propaganda on Ambassador Boyka because people are not sleeping. Because his presence alone is a threat in the media. But thank you for having us. I really appreciate all you guys.
Thank you.
And it was an excitement.
Thank you. You're trying, join me. You're trying, join me tomorrow after I should have a wonderful conversation with Sissy so you guys can help me analyze our conversation. Sissy, go ahead. What will be your closing?
Well,
then you declare it wonderful.
Look at Mr. Mali again. If I get too my heart, I swear.
No, she love man here like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know fuck the man come from like how he that I'm man. But on a serious note, I refuse to believe that this whole talk about Ambassador Boyka's health, I don't think it's a CDC strategy. I think it's few people that are associated with the CDC that bring this thing up. So I don't think it's the party actual strategy. But to the extent, if we want to believe it was, then I will advise the CDC, the ANC, the people who want to be in power, including us LPP. We don't do it anyway. But if you continue to talk about Omer Boyka's health, you are giving cover to the Unity Party from discussing the issues that matter. Because we spend an entire day, every meaningful media house in Liberia has been talking about this one thing, playing the video over and over on loop. Not one person in the Unity Party has come up today and made any policy statement. We have not asked them about any policy issue because this story was the story that allowed the Unity Party today to not discuss anything meaningful. To not ask Omer Boyka about his ideology on governance, how it differs from the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's Unity Party ideology on governance. We haven't asked that because we've been stuck in minutia. So I think if I were advising, and I don't believe this was a CDC strategy. I think it's few people in the CDC came up with it. I don't think the political party did. To the extent that those people who did that have access to people who make decisions in CDC, I think they should advise them to stop that because that is so easy to be a giveaway for people to not discuss meaningful things and then you don't get to ask them critical questions. So they sucked up all of the oxygen. So good, bad, or indifference, this worked to the benefit of the Unity Party because they keep being in the news. I would have loved to be here today talking about Dr. Yapaolo, our vice senator, who is in the United States. He was in Minnesota recently. He's in Iowa. He's in Wisconsin. He's giving a policy speech at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. One of few Liberian politicians to be invited to at that level to make such a speech at such a prestigious university. But we're not talking about that because the political oxygen has been sucked up by this thing. And I don't know. I really think that people need to rethink their strategies because there's a lot of things we could be asking the Unity Party and asking Omer Boyka to talk about that will, if you want to take votes away from him, that will get votes away from him versus talking about this issue. That is just my 2 cents. But then again, I am not that smart, so maybe I'm talking nonsense. So
thank you, guys, Mr. George, Cesar, Mr. Mali, Terry, and Carter, and including all of you that are called tonight. We want to thank you. Sissy, of course, you'll be my guest tomorrow. And the topic will be education, even though I have no knowledge on what I'm going to be talking to you about. But I hope that when I ask you some tabata questions, that intellectually you will try to lead me and guide me in the process of trying to help our brothers and sisters.
You're discussing the thing already.
You're throwing it out there. You're throwing it so those interested will come about it. Why are you so combative?
Mr. Toh, I think Mali won't be one of the interviewers. Maybe he want to be on to ask some questions.
So Mali gonna join me. What we're gonna do is have you one-on-one for an hour and a half, and then hopefully the panelists will join me, and we will be discussing what you and I are going to discuss, analyzing what you and I are going to discuss. And it's a very serious issue. It's nothing secret. You're a smart young man, and I seriously want to pick your mind and try to find out, first of all, how did you get to where you are? What are some of the processes did you make medicine? Did you come here with cocktail? Those kinds of questions.
So my grandfather gave my lesson.
Exactly. So I want to find out, and if not, with that kinds of whatever you follow, is that something young Liberians that might come here, would they also have that kind of opportunity to follow that? Those are the kinds of stuff I want to discuss with you tomorrow. But specifically, yeah.
But something. This is strategy is simple. The man is focused and becoming full stop.
Okay, we'll call you and you contribute on.
Mr. Toe.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You know the way you dress. Do you want to be district education officer full time? No, that one, a commissioner.
District commissioner. If you don't mind, don't call me anything else.
We don't have Liberian Frontier Force no more, so you get what I can have no more.
Huh?
We don't have Liberian Frontier Force no more, so you get what I can have as a district commissioner.
I recommend Mr. Toe for public work minister.
Okay, folks, I want to thank all of you. Sissy, please, like I said, I have no knowledge on most of the stuff we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I will use my intuition and stuff like that to move from one point to another, but I will expect and I will hope intellectually you will guide, because I want people to understand how important the educational process that you're involved, how important it is in your community. And those kinds of process can also, are they transferable? Are they those kinds of things, are they possible for these things to happen in our motherland? That is the background of our conversation tomorrow.
Again, when we have many Islamic comments, we'll definitely bring Sissy on board.
Don't you think it's too late? Gongo finish getting the mail because Exam come had a few because he had a few days coming to 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you were talking like something about baby here because the man had a few days. Now you want
I've been dealing with for a long time.
Yeah.
I can see the battle.
Your United Party people just sit on one side.
Oh.
It left for me.
My program, my wine, everything messed up right now, Mr. Josh. I can't hear you. But anyhow, let me say no on a very serious note. Mr. Mali, Mr. Goyer, Mr. Collins, Mr. Josh, and Mr. Carter, I want to thank all of you. Aaron Bradley, thank you very much. Many of you that called here tonight, the two ladies that called, I take my hat off to you. Not this hat. Let me take it off my head because we're talking about these ladies. I can't wear my Songana hat. So I want to thank all of you tonight for this wonderful, wonderful show. And Mr. So hopefully will be back next week. And I believe he will come back with his conservative ideas. And so many of you will gravitate towards that. So let me say thank you and say good night to all of you.
And my brother Otis Smith, I see you. I honor you, my brother. I see the comment. I honor you. You're still my brother. Yeah. All right, man. Good night.
Okay. Good night, folks. Again, folks, Samson to Labron Public Radio. I want to thank all of you again tonight that tuned in. We went over by more than 5 minutes, but that's okay because we are having fun here. And I want to thank all of you for your connection. Carter, of course, we say thank you already. So we'll say good night to all of you. Sissy will be my guest tomorrow evening, and we'll have some wonderful, wonderful conversation. Samson to Labron Public Radio. Good night, folks.
monama. Hey, monama. Hey, monama.
Ateito. Nalukio na kati ya Kinshasa bobi mama.